Hey everyone, Pet of Hardy. Gonna go over today something I get asked a lot, which is how do I submit my shit to PSA? So, first thing you need to know is that PSA has a giant backlog. If you think that you are going to send your cards to PSA and be Scrooge McDuck by Christmas, you are sadly mistaken. That is not happening. They have like a 2 million card backlog currently in September 2020. That's not going down anytime soon. That's only getting worse, especially because of COVID and if they get shut down again. So if you have something that you need right away, the thing you need to look at is their tier options. So the way it works with PSA is they have a bunch of different tiers. So they have the cheapy cheaps for the, we'll call people who don't really give a shit on when they get their stuff back. There is no timeline guaranteed on that. That's generally what most people consider bulk. PSA also does quarterly specials where they offer a special cheaper rate on specific cards. So it might be Pokemon, it might be Yu-Gi-Oh, it might be, say, sports cards from a specific sport from a particular amount of time. So like basketball cards from 1990 to current, use as an example. So if you get into that territory, you're looking at probably 6 months to a year before you get your shit back. So if you need your stuff because you want to get it back fast to try and flip, unless it's a really cheap card, I don't know why you need it back that fast to try and flip it in anyways. It doesn't make sense. Going to the cheap option isn't going to work. You're not going to get it back anytime soon. You're sure shit not getting it back before Christmas. So up from there, they have different levels. So they have your regular level service where, you're looking at 45 to 60 days right now currently, I think. And then from there, you can keep paying more money to get your cards faster. So you can get like a 20-day option, a 10-day option, a 5-day option, 2-day, 1-day, on and on and on. The more money you give them, basically, the faster they tell you you're going to get your cards back. Just because you give them more money doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get your cards back faster, though. Because the way it works is they throw all the submissions in a room, and if you have Express marked on it, they are supposed to look at it faster to get it logged into the system. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and someone who has a random bulk order might get seen before your box. So it all depends on when it gets submitted to the PSA system. That's when the timer starts. So just to explain it to you. So the way, when they say days, they mean business days. So when they say, say for easy math, 30 days, that means business days. That doesn't mean I send my cards in the mail and a month later I get them back. No, hell no. It's from when they get logged, which is the next thing you need to know about PSA. So when you send your cards to PSA, they get sent to a basically storage room, and when it gets sent to the storage room, your timer isn't even started. So what happens is when it gets logged is when PSA physically takes your cards, opens up the box, and sees what level service you have in your box. Now, pro tip, if you're trying to get a bunch of stuff done faster, but you don't want to pay a whole lot extra money, if you have a couple of Express items in your box, and you mark Express on the box because you have Express submission, you can put your bulk or your regular card order in the same box. Once they open the box, you're front loading the order. So as soon as they open the box, they're going to log everything that's in there. So when they log it for the Express order, they're generally going to log everything else that's in there. So then your timer is going to start on your 30 days. So if you have, say, Shadowless Charizard, or first edition LOB Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it's mint condition, you generally want to be going with the express option, which is, I think, 5 days right now. Might be 10 days, I don't even know. They charge $75 roughly US, depending on who you're doing it with or what rate you have. So the way that works is after they log it, within 5 days, they're supposed to have your cards graded and ready to bill you and ship them back to you. That doesn't mean you're going to get it done after 5 days of you getting logged. So you got to keep in mind the timelines on all this, because if you're in a crunch and you're expecting to have your stuff back before a certain time, probably not going to happen. So the way it works is, like I said, you send it into PSA, goes to your shipping room. After anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks at this point, they'll open up your box. That's when your timer starts once it's been logged, and they open up the box. You can front load your submissions, like I said, throw in some express cards to try to get them to open up the box faster. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on who's working in the shipping room, basically, and how much they like you. So next thing you need to keep in mind is the pricing, because outside the bulk, super cheap options, you're looking at, say, $7-8 a card. Everyone gets that. Not everyone gets the preferential treatment on the higher up tiers on how fast the turnarounds are and how cheap you're going to get them. So what you need to keep in mind is that there's other companies out there now, like Ludkins. Shout out to Charlie. That you can send your cards to Charlie. Charlie will handle all the paperwork with PSA. He'll ship them all off for you. He gets a better rate on the cost, and he also gets a faster turnaround time to get them back for you. So the way it works is you hit up Charlie on his website or Instagram or whatever and say, Charlie, I want to send you my cards. Charlie will give you his address, send them into him. You can either pay an extra $2, I think he charges. He'll look over your cards for you, tell you what he thinks they'll grade at. And if you don't want to grade the card, you just pay him the $2 service fee for looking over the card. He'll send them back to you. Or you can go ahead with the submission, and then you just pay whatever his fee is based on the service level you're going with. Not getting in the pricing for someone else's company. I'll let Charlie do all that crap if he wants to. There's other options out there. Ludkins is the only one that actually has a contract with PSA at this point still, I'm pretty sure. So watch that. I've subbed through other companies, quote unquote, before, and had nothing but grief with people not submitting cards when they said they did, charging you, and then not following through, and the cards go missing, and there's all kinds of horror stories with shit like that. Charlie is the only third-party service like that I would use outside of sending stuff in myself or with a few other friends that I have. So if you don't want to deal with any of this shit at all, just literally the easiest way to do this is just message Charlie. Be like, hey, Charlie, take my shit and send it off to PSA. Depending on the volume of cards that you do, it's probably going to be cheaper and you'll get your cards back faster to go this route. So I would highly recommend that to anyone who doesn't know what they're doing with all this. But like I said, main thing to keep in mind is the turnaround time is business days, and the timer doesn't even start till PSA opens the box. And even then, that's only the average. It's not guaranteed, and it's a floating average. So when you submit it, it might be 30 days, and a month later, they might double it to 60 days. And there's jack shit you can do about it. So just laugh and tell you to go cry while they like sniff your money or something. So if you don't want to do the Ludkins route, however, you're also going to have to do a whole pile of paperwork. So you need to log your submission. So the way it works is you set up an account with PSA. You can pick from one of their tier options. You can go in your account and it'll say create a submission. So you go into your submission and you can start keying in the cards from the sets that they're from. You do up your full list. You print off your slip. I'm pretty sure you can upload the tracking number on the PSA's website too. And then you just send it off to PSA. They'll update it on your account when they receive it, and they'll update it when they actually open it and log it, and that's when your timer starts. So there's a bunch of different phases when you get into your account on where your submission is to, and it goes from like logged to review and grading and process. And then you got like quality check 1, quality check 2. Then it goes, I forget what it's called, but it's like slabbing and then shipping. They actually send it back to you. I can't remember the exact names on that, but that's the basic order for it. So the way it works then is when your cards get graded, you think you've made out like a bandit because your base set Shadowless Charizard got a PSA 10, you're going to flip it for 40 grand. If you send it through the bulk or the 30 days, or hell, even if you send it in the express, at $75, you are going to get dragged to hell and back. Because what PSA does, they actually penalize you for what the added value of your card gets from them grading it. So say if your Shadowless Charizard raw, say it's $5,000, because that's what a 9 is going for. Now, you don't know if it's going to get a 9 or if it's going to get a 10. If it gets a 10, say it's worth $40,000. So you're not going to pay like $250, $500 for PSA to do a super mega ultra deluxe express submission because you want it back within a couple days. You're probably just going to do the $75 express, because why the hell would you pay $500 for them to just tell you it's a 9 and then be a tenth of what your card is worth? It doesn't make sense. So what happens is when your card is graded, they've got this room of super nerds basically that go on eBay and they plug in the cards. They have a list of what is considered a high value or potentially high value card and specific sets and all that. So like they're looking out for your Michael Jordan 86 Fleer rookies. They're looking out for your base set Charizards. They're looking out for your LOB stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh, your Magic the Gathering alpha beta shit. They're looking for those cards and they want to ding you right in the piggy bank and steal all your money. So what's going to happen is they're going to look at it and say, oh, well, his Charizard just got a 10, so now it's worth 40 grand. So he needs to give us more money because we just gave him a lot of added value to his card. So they're going to turn around, I think that up to $50,000, that it goes in tiers. So it goes like standard tiers, say $100, then it goes $250, 500. Hold on now. Okay, no, sorry. Depending on the subs too, because the quarterly specials screw it all up. So let's just say it goes 250 to 500, then 1,000, then 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. After 20,000, I think it goes to 50. I can't remember off the top of my head. Something like that. Anyways, so they're going to ding you in the $50,000 category and say that you owe them something astronomical, probably in the range of $500 or $1,000. Because by them putting your card in their case, your card is worth a pile load more money. So they should get more money from you because they just made you a whole pile of money without doing anything other than giving the money, which I don't understand how that math works in their heads, but whatever. One other thing to note, though, actually, I'll add on this as an addendum. that when you get your cards back after you paid your exuberant amount of upcharge fees, they might have misgraded your card. So your $40,000 Charizard might only actually be a PSA 8. Because they caught it in the sonic sealer when they were encapsulating it and they put a giant dent in it, or they, put a giant white spot on it or something like that. So what is labeled a 10 is really an 8. And you get really pissed off that they damaged your card or they misgraded your card. Because sometimes, it's trial and error. It's also done by humans. And humans are fallible, so they make mistakes. So just because someone's been grading for, 5, 6, 10 years doesn't mean they're going to have 100% perfect score rate on what they're grading their cards. People screw up all the time. It is what it is. So your PSA 8 is only worth, say, $2,000, $2,500. We'll say $2,000. So that's a giant difference between $40,000 and $2,000, especially if you just paid them $1,000 to grade your damn thing. So rightfully so, you're going to be pissed off and say, hey man, why the hell is my Charizard that's only PSA 8 in a PSA 10 case? So they actually have what's called, where the hell can I write this? A money back guarantee. Now, this is part of the reason why they say there is an upcharge, because they want you to send it into the higher level tier to get the more experienced graders who, have been at this a bit longer and can, pick up on things that newer graders might miss. Or say someone who does specific sports cards might pick up on a sports card compared to someone who only does Pokemon. So what this money back guarantee does, you send your card into a review, you pay them their fee, and they're going to look at the card, they're going to say, oh, well, this isn't a 10, this is an 8. They're going to re-encapsulate your card for you, and then they're actually going to send you a check for the difference between a 10 and an 8. Now, they might not agree with your evaluation that it's a $40,000 card. They might say, nah, screw you, that's a $30,000 card. But they're still going to cut you a check for the difference. So this $30,000 card is $28,000 more than a $2,000 card. So they're going to cut you a check for $28,000 and send you your 8 back. So that's also another reason why they have the different tiers of grading, because they say they got to be able to pay the money back guarantee fees, which, it's nice to have that little cushion there, especially if you're buying off of a third party who graded the cards already. And, there are weak 10s. You might not agree with the 10, and the seller won't give you a refund, so your only option is to send it to PSA to get it regraded. So it is nice to have that little thing there as a cushion in case anything goes sideways. So complicated as all hell. Like I said, if you want a simple thing, just message Charlie. I think his Instagram handle is Charlie Collects, or you can look up the Lugkin's website. Free plug for Charlie for the day. That's all you're getting out of me, man. If you got any other questions, hit me up. And that's pretty much it. Have a good one.